with Equality Florida, and I would like to thank you for being here this evening on this very sad and challenging day in the City Beautiful. We just got word that the death toll has climbed to 59 of our citizens. With that, I would like to introduce the president of the LGBT Center, Mr. Tim Vargas.
Good evening. Thank you all for being here. Before we get started, I'd actually like to invite Reverend Nancy Wilson to lead us in a small prayer.
With all our different faiths, we're united in our values of love and justice and truth. Spirit of life, we pray for those who are clinging to life right now. We pray for those who have lost their lives and for families and friends holding their breath. We ask that you would bless us as a gentle, angry people in this place, that our voices may be raised up at this press conference, that we may speak truth in love and with power, that all may know that we are not afraid and that we are grateful to be part of your creation. We pray for all those who are struggling and suffering right now, including those in this room who have lost friends and family and people so close to them. Be with us as we gather in this place. In your many names we pray. Amen.
Amen. Amen.
Thank you, Reverend Wilson. Thank everybody again so much for coming out. It's been a pretty surreal, unbelievable day. There aren't enough words to express the sorrow that everyone in this room is feeling. Our community is wounded. What we're here to do today is to start healing and help people, comfort those people in their time of grief. To that end, we jumped into action this morning along with all of these organizations that you see right here standing behind us, from HRC, the national level, to Equality Florida, Hope and Help, Impulse Orlando, Miracle of Love. We've had a great amount of support organizing counseling services that'll be going not just today and tonight, but through the week. Dr. David Baker Hargrove from Two Spirit is here, and he's really led the efforts on that, and I can't thank you enough for helping me with that today. Again, through the next 24, 48 hours, as more victims' names are released, we just ask that the community stand in solidarity. Reach out, hug your loved ones, because nothing matters more than that right now. There is a crisis hotline that's currently open thanks to our friends at Zebra Coalition. That hotline telephone number is 407-228-1446. You can also call the center. Our phones will be open pretty much continually for the next week as we deal with the grief that's about to come down upon us. I just again want to thank you all for coming out. The outpouring of support today has been incredible. As you can see, there are hundreds of your fellow community members right here in this room, bringing water and food, delivering water and food to those in need. We'll continue to coordinate the efforts here at the center to support the victims' families. We'll continue to coordinate with United Way and Red Cross on blood drives. And again, just thank you, and our thoughts and prayers go out to the victims and their families.
How do you spell your last name?
Vargas, V-A-R-G-A-S.
Okay, and we'll start down here and work our way around.
My name is Reverend Nancy Wilson, Nancy-Wilson. I'm the moderator of Metropolitan Community Churches worldwide. I also represent Joy Metropolitan Community Church here in Orlando, and I'm a past member of President Obama's Faith Council for the White House. And I just want to say that how obvious can it be that we have to ban assault weapons in our country? How obvious President Obama said today that in this event, terror and hate crimes met each other in a powerful way. In many ways, this is our Charleston. Our LGBT community This is another moment in which we say, with all the progress we've made with marriage equality and other things, there is a deep level of fear and bigotry and hatred, often stemming from religious groups in our country that are aligned with right-wing politics. We who are people of justice have to stand up to this. We are a strong, brave, and wonderful community. And we will survive, and we will touch those who have been impacted by this. But we have to be in solidarity and stand up for an end to violence in our country that is made possible because we refuse to take a stand against the banning of assault weapons. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Hannah Willard with Equality Florida. I'm our policy and outreach coordinator, and I was so heartened today by the outpouring of support and interest from folks near and far who wanted to know how they could help in these moments when we feel helpless. It's a beautiful thing that so many have come together in this room, in this space, in this city, and across our country to give back and give what they can to the victims, their families, and those who are still fighting for their lives in hospitals. This morning, Equality Florida launched a GoFundMe page that I am pleased to announce has raised $416,000. And we'll be working with our local partner organizations to make sure that every single dollar that we have raised goes to support the victims, their loved ones, those who are still fighting for their lives. I'm so grateful for the organizations behind us who have come together in this moment of grief to take action and plan those next steps. The LGBT community is unfortunately no stranger to adversity motivated by hatred. And when these tragedies strike, we do band together and we do move forward. This month is the anniversary of the Stonewall riots. This is LGBT Pride Month, a month when people gather together to march in parades, walk in festivals, and celebrate our pride. And it's prescient that at this moment, we had this act of violence taken against our community. I know that we're stronger than ever, and I'm proud to be part of this community here in Orlando and across the country. We also will have a vigil tomorrow night hosted by Equality Florida and our partner organizations at the Lake Eola Bandshell at 7 p.m. We'd love to see you all there. The last thing I would say is that when asked what our next steps can be, when asked what we can do, I think what we all can do is teach our children to treat each other with compassion, with empathy, with dignity and respect. I think Florida can be a place where every single child can know that they are celebrated and valued for exactly who they are. And I think that's how we prevent this senseless violence in the future. Thank you. Willard. Thank you. Thank you.
Reverend Cynthia Alice Anderson, Senior Minister at Christ Church Unity in Orlando, Florida. So it's Cynthia, C-Y-N-T-H-I-A. Last name is Anderson, A-N-D-E-R-S-O-N. Christ Church Unity, Orlando. As a spiritual leader in Orlando, I feel it is very important that we are all here today gathering together in support. I also, even though this was a crime against the LGBT community, it was really a crime against humanity. Yes. And we have, it's very obvious when a tragedy like this happens that we realize and can recognize our shared humanity in a situation like this. So even though so many of us right now, and we felt it strongly in our community this morning, that so many of us were feeling confused, shocked, not sure what to do, and followed by that was a lot of anger and a lot of rage. What I'm going to invite us all into is moving out of that and into love, peace, certainly justice, but unity, not only as a gay community, but as the greater Orlando community as well. So as a spiritual community, we're here, we're supporting always LGBT people. We are a community of diversity, and we're here, we're lifting you up in prayer. We'll be involved in the prayer vigils coming up. We'll be having our own vigil Wednesday night at 7 o'clock at Christ Church Unity. So just know we're supporting you, we're lifting you in prayer, and we're here for you on your journey. Thank you so much.
is Carlos Guillermo Smith, and I'm the Government Affairs Manager for Equality Florida. I'm also a gay Floridian, I'm a Latino Floridian, and I'm an American. Thank you to the entire Central Florida community and world community for all of your acts of kindness. We are reeling from this tragic news that a gunman opened fire at 2 a.m. at a gay nightclub at maximum capacity. Our entire community is devastated by this act of terror. We denounce all acts of violence against all people. Gay clubs hold a significant place in LGBTQ history. They were the only safe and affirming gathering space for our community for many decades, including today in 2016. And as Hannah spoke earlier, the month of June actually commemorates our historic struggle against anti-LGBTQ violence and against discrimination at the Stonewall Inn, a nightclub that has become the first LGBTQ monument in the United States. This horrific act strikes directly at our sense of community, not just as lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, and queer individuals, but as Americans and as human souls. There's no question that this senseless act of violence that happened during LGBTQ Pride Month at a gay nightclub was intended to send a message of hate and terror. Equality Florida and Orlando's entire community and the LGBT community, we stand in solidarity with all people, including the Muslim and Islamic community. And in opposition to the intolerance, discrimination, and hate that both of our communities experience. That hate, bigotry, and intolerance are our common enemies. And we will stand together during this tragic time as we mourn, heal, and form a plan of action to keep our communities safe from gun violence. We're heartbroken that senseless gun violence has once again destroyed the lives of people in Florida and around the country. It's destroying all lives, but our community is strong. We are resilient. We know that love trumps hate.
Yes.
And we will stand together against all phobias. Transphobia, homophobia, Islamophobia. This is who Central Florida is as a people. We will persevere together. No vamos a dejar que este odio nos divida. Juntos somos fuertes. Gracias.
Hi, I'm Dr. David Baker Hargrove. I'm the president and CEO of Two Spirit Health Services. My last name is spelled Baker-Hargrove. Two Spirit Health Services is a nonprofit clinic where we provide medical and mental health services to the LGBT community, regardless of ability to pay. Two Spirit has mobilized in the mental health response to this tragedy. I want you to know that we have, the counseling community has been amazing in coming forward to us today to be able to lend their time and be able to be here for anyone in the community who needs it. And so we have been able to gather everybody together, put schedules together. Our main counseling center is at the Universalist Unitarian Church at 1901 East Robinson Street. We will be there till at least 7 p.m. this evening, depending upon need. Our plan is to be there from 10 a.m. to 7 p.m., again, depending upon need for the rest of the week, certainly through Thursday if necessary. It is a walk-in. It is a walk-in opportunity. Anyone who needs counseling assistance can walk into the church and be able to be seen there by our counselors are on hand. I just want you to know that as terms of the mental health response, we are mobilized, we are ready, and we are here for you. Thank you.
Hi, I'm John Raffier, John, two F's and Frank, I-E-R. I'm with Roxy Santiago.
SANTIAGO.
And Joe Saunders, JOESAUNDERS.
We are with the Human Rights Campaign, the nation's largest civil rights organization focused on LGBT citizens. We just want to express on behalf of HRC and the HRC communities across the country our condolences for this horrible event, but also to express sort of our praise and admiration for the first responders, police, fire, paramedics, the doctors at ORHS, the support staff there who really have gone above and beyond and put in a yeoman effort and doing their best to minimize this tragedy as much as humanly possible. And we have been also heartened by the outpouring of support of people all over Orlando. You see huge lines at blood drives and things like that. The act really meant to divide us and terrorize our community has really brought us apart, and we think that's a very positive message that needs to be out there.
Hi. Again, I'm with HRC Orlando. I also am Latin and I am gay. I also represent the Democratic Hispanic Caucus, which was also affected throughout this. And I have been in contact with the Red Cross that are also providing some mass care assistance too. Though not yet labeled a hate crime, more than 20% of hate crimes nationally target people based on sex orientation or gender identity, based by the FBI status. So again, all our prayers and thoughts to the family and friends that have lost someone today.
Hello, my name is Heather Wilkie, HEATHERWILKIE, and I'm the director for the Zebra Coalition. Zebra Coalition offers a full continuum of support for LGBT plus youth, ages 13 to 24. And we are absolutely devastated by the tragic events that happened, knowing that many of our youth have been impacted by this event. Please know that we are here to provide support. Zebra Coalition has opened up a brand new hotline to respond to the overwhelming hotline calls, and our number is 407-822-5036. We are also working with a crisis response team of counselors, many of whom have volunteered their time to support us today through Aspire Health Partners and through True Spirit. Thank you very much.
Hello everyone, my name is Anna Viescamani, A-N-N-A, last name is E-S-K-A-M-A-N-I. I am the proud Senior Director of Public Affairs for Planned Parenthood of Southwest and Central Florida, your local Planned Parenthood affiliate. I'm also stand before you as an Orlando native, as a woman of color, and to be more specific, as an Iranian American. And I stand here today with our LGBTQ sisters and brothers. Planned Parenthood is the nation's leading provider of reproductive health, education, and advocacy. We are a safe space for members of the LGBT community. We are chosen as their provider of care in many cases because the environment we create is safe and non-judgmental, one where every person can be their authentic self and have all their questions be answered and build long-lasting relationships. And that's exactly the role that gay clubs like Pulse play in our community. And that safety was violated this morning. And as an Orlando native, I stand strong with our partners across Central Florida. I feel so honored to be with a community that stands for diversity and stands for love. At Planned Parenthood, we deplore all acts of violence, and unfortunately, we know a thing or two about violence as well. And we know that what terror is designed to do, and we will not let it happen to this community. So we stand strong together, and we also know that change does not come with a quick burst of energy or enthusiasm. It comes with a consistent persistence for something greater than ourselves. And that's why we stand here today. Thank you.
Community Development Director at Open Health Center here in Central Florida. We are the largest ASO in town, and we stand with all our community partners here at this time of need. We send our prayers, our thanks, and our thoughts to all the families and victims out there, and we're just happy to be part of this and make sure that all Central Floridians can stand together. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Corey Lyons. I'm the president of Impulse Group Orlando. We're obviously saddened to be standing here today in front of you. What we do is outreach with HIV/AIDS prevention in the clubs. Pulse is one of our main partners, and we're saddened obviously to see somebody going in violate, that safe place We work specifically with the younger generations to try to get that advocacy message out there. Never did I think I'd be standing here giving a message of gun violence to that same demographic. I think we're here to help, and we really want to make sure that everybody understands that we can be safe again. Thank you.
My name is Lou Müller-Kaul. That is L-U, and then the last name goes M-U-E-L-L-E-R-K-A-U-L. I'm the board president of the MBA Orlando. We are the LGBT Chamber of Commerce. Like all of us, I woke up this morning with horror and grief and unable to process what had happened. But during the day, what I experienced the most was love and gratitude with all the community support what we're experiencing. Standing here with all these strong partners, feeling like a true community, not only as LGBTQ organizations, but as the whole of Orlando, and even reaching further, listening to the support from all over the world. I can only say we're sad, but we're not afraid.
Yes.
Good afternoon. I'm Angus Bradshaw, ANGUSBRADSHAW, the Executive Director for Miracle of Love. Miracle of Love is an HIV/AIDS service organization here in Orlando, Florida, and today we take our stand for our call to action. We were devastated this morning as my employees have checked in, my volunteers have checked in with me about how we're doing in this community. We're saddened. We have friends that work at Pulse. We have Pulse is one of our partners, and today we want to make sure the families know we are here to help. I am so elated to stand together with a team of people that are powerful. They made a call to action this morning, and by 11 o'clock, banks were full. We were taking water. Water was outpouring. It was crazy when we got to these places. They had everything they need. They had the staff, they had the food. So I'm excited to be a part of a team that stands behind me that came out to answer their call to action. A dear friend of mine gave me a quote, and I'll never forget it. Never doubt the small group of thoughtful, committed citizens that can change the world. Indeed, it is the only thing that ever has. And today we take that call, and I am glad we are that small group of people that stand for change. So thank you so much, and families, we are here for you. You can reach us on our website. We're going to join forces with the center and Two Spirits offering counseling at our Stafford House. So whatever you guys need, reach out to us. We're located at 741 West Colonial Drive. Our phone number is 407-843-1760. Thank you so much. And again, our prayers are with you.
Hi, I'm Mary Meeks. It's M-A-R-Y-M-E-E-K-S. I am a Florida civil rights attorney and a gay rights advocate. For the last many years, I've worked with all of these fabulous people and organizations in the room today. I want to express my grief and just overwhelming sadness for the loss that we suffered here in our community today from this horrific attack. This type of senseless violence against our community will not be tolerated. Obviously, that is the common theme that we're hearing from all of us standing here today, even in our grief and our sadness. We will love and support the victims of this crime, even as we join together to eradicate the hatred that lies at the core of this kind of violence. I also want to express my extreme pride in this community, as a member of this community, pride in our law enforcement and our first responders who saved lives last night, pride in all of our fellow citizens who stood strong and helped each other through a night of horror and violence, pride in our community leaders like Orlando Mayor Buddy Dyer, who have shown such courage and grace and strength in our community today, and who have embraced our LGBT community here and made us have, I think, the commitment and the confidence that you see standing before you today. Pride in all of the great allies, again, that you see standing here. This community knows how to face adversity. We have faced many challenges over the years, and the one thing that I know about this community in Orlando is that in times like these, we will come together, we will stand together, we will fight together, and we will prevail in the face of this kind of hate and violence. I think our message to the perpetrator of this crime and other similar crimes is quite simple. Our love will defeat your hate.
Yes.
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 And finally, I want to offer services to any of the victims or family members of the victims. When this kind of thing happens in your life, you're thrust into a world completely unknown, and there are many burdens and obstacles and things that they're going to have to get through. So on behalf of the Central Florida Gay and Lesbian Law Association, they have set up a hotline. At the moment, all I have is an email. It's CFGALA, so it's CFGALLA.hotline@gmail.com. And so our local Gay and Lesbian Law Association, to any of the victims or family members who need any sort of advice or assistance in any way, please contact the hotline. They are setting up a phone hotline as well, and we will find people and organizations and resources available to help those that are in need of those types of services.
And good evening again. I'm Gina Duncan, GINADUNCAN, and I am the Transgender Inclusion Director for Equality Florida. And I represent a community that knows violence, a community that knows marginalization, knows hatred, but yet stands lockstep with our entire community to denounce this violence, to push forward for equality for all people, to push forward for equality at the statewide level so that the legislature will see fit to pass the Competitive Workforce Act so that all Floridians can enjoy equal protection under the law. This act of violence will not define us, and it will not defeat us. And with that, I'd like to introduce our Executive Director of Equality Florida, who came over from the St. Pete area, Nadine Smith.
Hi everybody, I know it's warm right now. But what's also warm are the wishes that have come from all over the country and actually all over the globe. Everyone is thinking of Orlando right now. Everyone is watching Orlando, and everyone is proud of how we are standing together here in Orlando. I know there's a GoFundMe account that every time we look at it, we're blown away by how much people care and how much they're giving. Our phones and text messages are full from other organizations who want us to know that they're raising money at their bar in Columbus or in Nevada, and that help is on its way. And I think that one of the most important messages that we discovered during the fight for marriage equality was the slogan, "Love wins."
Yes, ma'am.
And right now, there will be messages that get delivered about what happened in Orlando that will try to foment hatred in our hearts. And we have to remember that it was hatred that pulled the trigger in those early morning hours, and that we won't give in to that.
Yes.
And we have to ask ourselves, what kind of culture feeds the kind of hatred that had to animate what horror unfolded in Orlando? What kind of messages have become normalized that could allow someone to do what was done? And the steady stream of violence that has become so normal. And we have to ask ourselves, why, when someone has that hatred, why are they given access to weapons of mass slaughter? So, from Equality Florida, all of the organizations standing here, we should be heartened by the fact that the lines to donate blood wrapped around buildings.
Yes.
And we should make sure that through our grief and through our tears, what remains absolutely constant is our unshakable resolve that we will uproot the bigotry, the fear, and the hatred that is at the core of this horror that we are enduring right now as a community. That is our pledge, to be unwavering and to remember what we learned in the fight for our families. Love wins. Thank you, Orlando.
And with that, any questions?
Good evening. do any of you know any of the people who were affected, and have they come to you?
Anyone know anyone?
The list isn't out yet, so it's slowly trickling. We've spoken to people, but obviously we're all waiting for those confirmations. Last we checked, there's only 4 people that have been listed. So when we know more, obviously we'll wait to see that list.
So none of you know the 4 people?
No.
Not the 4 people.
And I will say that the hospital has reached out to us, number one, to let us know that they are doing everything to take care of the families. And I know they're getting lots of phone calls from people. I know people in this room who can't account for friends that are missing, but they are unable to release those names until they inform the next of kin. So this, over the next few days, we expect to hear more and more about who we've lost.
Other questions?
Yeah.
Yes.
When do we march on Washington?
Well, our first step is going to be rallying tomorrow night at the bandshell. We will be confirming that through social media, but we hope to start our initial rally tomorrow at 7 o'clock at the bandshell. Hope to see everyone there. Yes?
Orlando Police just clarified this number that is still at 50.
Still at 50. That's good news. Thank you for that. We had initially heard 59, but the death toll is only still at 50. So we're happy about that. Any other questions?
Yeah.
Yes.
Do you think this is linked to the anniversary of the Stonewall Group as an act of terror?
We can only speculate. We don't know. There's been a lot of layers to this, that it happened during Gay Days, that it happened during Pride Month, that it happened during Latino Night. So, the hatred, we initially thought or were told that it was all about a hate crime, and then late this evening we hear that ISIS is taking claim for this horrendous act. So we're still waiting for more information to come out from law enforcement, but the bottom line is that this is something that cannot be condoned. We cannot let this define us. And it is something that we must move past, while at the same time certainly supporting all of those families who are affected by this horrific act. Other questions? Yes?
Can we make Paul safe again?
Can we make Paul safe again? I think probably everyone in this room has gone to Pulse at some time in their lives. And it was an amazing experience, and it's a safe place. It's a place where everyone can come together as a community, as an entire LGBTQ community. And we need to get back there. We cannot let this deter us from living our normal lives and living our authentic lives. So we can all work together to make it a safe place. Other questions for any specific people up here? Okay, thank you so much for coming. Thank you, organizations of Orlando.